Ultra Gear, guys. Guess what I have? Transmetal Cheetor. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I had to say Ultra Gear. Cheetor always said that. Anyways, we're going to start with the first of the Transmetals, the true Transmetals, where I don't have to do a profile review. Transmetal line was introduced, and it brought on a 3-mode conversion. It had its Animal Mode, or Beast Mode, I'm sorry, Beast Mode, wow, I should get slapped on the wrist. Beast Mode, Vehicle Mode, and Robot Mode. And it kept mainly a metallic-like look, a robot-like look, and it kept some beast form-like or organic-like look to it when they transform into robot mode. Anyways, I will do Cheetor first because this is my favorite of the Cheetor figures. It's also the hardest to get too. It took me a long time to get this one, but the other thing about the Transmetal is, as the Transmetal upgrade, it brings a lot of good things and it brings a lot of not so good things. It all depends. Obviously, it brings on the 3rd mode. Another thing is it brought on a certain amount of protection against Megatron's virus and what was it called? Beast Machines. Because it just downgraded them, it kept them alive. It didn't totally paralyze them like other Transformers got. It really bumped up their power too. The disadvantage is, and if there is disadvantage, because it's arguable, but for me, I saw the disadvantage was that they had less weapons armament, and they really didn't get too much more powerful. I mean, you got normal Transformers like Rhinox or Dinobot that are just totally wasting the Transmetals. Whether or not it's because they're on par with strength, or it's just because Rhinox and Dinobot were more veterans, it really shows that they really didn't have too much more power. And they had less weapons, too. You look at Primal, when he was regular Primal, he had like a shitload of weapons. Now he has only like a mace, a gun, and cannons. That's it. But anyways, the Transmetal line. Yes, the Transmetal line was very nice. I liked it. I like the original line better, but the Transmetal line does have its props. The one thing about the Transmetal line that's always definite is they'll always have their name on them. You can't really see that, but on its collar it says Cheetor. Every Transmetal has their name somewhere on it. Anyways, on to Transmetal Cheetor. There's not really much more to say about Transmetals. The pros and cons, please bear with me, because a lot of that's just opinionated on me. I really don't see the Transmetals that better. But anyways, on to Cheetor. This is Transmetal Cheetor. I love Transmetal Cheetor a lot. This is his Beast Mode, and is a big improvement from the original. It looks more like a cat. The original had its flaws, as I pointed out before. This one, even though it's robotic, it looks more cat-like. It has more of the figure, per se. Anyways, this is Cheetor and his Beast Mode. The only complaint I have is the head doesn't stay up on mine. That's because this is an older figure, so I kind of have to use the robot head to balance it out. There, it's staying there, but Cheetor's vehicle mode, if you put the hands out like that, like Super Cat, you just release this section here, and you get his turbo boosters. This is kind of cool. I like this mode. The only problem is this whole entire area here. Look at that. It can be like a cat ring. It is ridiculous. But yes, it's a nice mode, despite the fact that you have this filler here. It's pretty cool. The 3rd mode didn't get too in-depth. Like you see here, it's not much of a transformation change. He's still basically a cat. He just has jets. Transform into robot mode. Just flip these bad boys back in there. You don't need to have those out. First thing I do is I straighten the legs. Or actually, I take the tail weapon out. Straighten the legs out and flip out these heels right here. He has heels hidden. Flip those out and have the heels out. So, yes, you want to make sure you get the heels. It helps in balancing. Next thing you do is take his Cheetah arms, fold them back, take this whole section, and this can be difficult. I don't know if it's just my figure, but you have to bring it back and lock it down, like so. It's kind of like a backpack. And then bring this section down. Next is you bring this section down, the head, reveals the robot head, and you separate the arms. Here we go. Separate and separate. And then just adjust the hands accordingly. The robot mode looks awesome. I love the robot mode. From the front, though, he looks very bulky. He looks very nice. From the side, though, he looks like he's kind of fat. But other than that, he looks really nice. And like I said, he keeps a little hair right there. He keeps a very organic look here with the cheetah pattern. So he looks cool in that sense. There's one thing is in Cheetor, in Beast Wars, he had two weapons. He had his tail whip, which he has right here. You just stick that in there. Pretty cool. I don't know if it's a sword, but in the show it was a whip. Let's just call it a whip. But in the show, he could put his hands together like so and shoot missiles out of him. You can't really do it like this. There's one way you can do it with the figure, but it's hard. You can do it like this, and it can look kind of like he's doing it. The only other way to get a true sense is you have to actually fold the arms out. Let me actually do this. I actually have time to do this. I don't know why YouTube doesn't let me do 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes on my videos. Mostly because I'm a director, so I should be able to. Or I'm a guru, I don't know. I'm a director or a guru. But yeah, anyways, this is the only way you'll truly get a sense of him doing that gun shooting. But his arms are longer, and look at that. It just doesn't look natural. If you like that, though, I mean, do it, but I like to peek from out to the side. But yes, Cheetor, Transmetal Cheetor. I think he's the best of the Cheetors. Cheetors. I don't really care for Transmetal 2 Cheetor. I will get into that later, but even though how great the original Cheetor was, this Cheetor really has more to him. Let me just position myself better. My leg was falling asleep. His articulation is really good. His arms can snap in and out sometimes, but overall they're pretty nice. Posability is decent. The head can move around. The legs are very articulated. You know, I really don't need to go into articulation too much with the Beast Wars because all the Beast War characters are pretty much the same. Beast Wars really introduced the ball joint hinge-like concept to the Transmetal line, or not Transmetal, but to the Transformer toys, and every toy since has been like the Beast War toys. But yes, the Transmetal line is nice. In the show, they're good. They also have, I guess the Transmetal gives them a shielding too. When Megatron had that big freaking alien ship, he sent out a beam and it disabled all the normal Transformers, Rhinox and Dinobot of the Maximal teams, and the Transmetals were still around. So I guess that just shows that the Transmetals do have a big upgrade. It's not too much of an upgrade, though. The Transmetal 2 is really where they get the upgrade build. Cheetor, though, personality-wise, he's the only one I actually really have to do a profile on. Personality-wise, Cheetor gets more mature when he gets Transmetal. He's really a growing character. When he turns Transmetal, he's probably the age of maybe like 20, as opposed to 14 when he was a little kid, when he was normal. When he turns Transmetal 2, he's more of a 25-year-old or whatever. He starts to mature as he transforms into different aspects. If I had any complaints about this figure, the cat mode, there is no complaints. In the jet mode, you saw the gap. In this mode, not really any complaints. I like him. He's my favorite of the Cheetors. I mean, despite the fact he looks kind of big from the side, he's a nice figure. I love him. He really is. I was so satisfied when I got this figure. And the Transmetal line really steps it up in show accuracy in comparison to the other line. Before you were lucky if you got a Beast War figure that looked similar to their characters. The Transmetal figure looks exactly like the CGI format. Whether or not it was the fact that the Transmetal came out after the show started the Transmetal line, or actually I don't think it did, but whether or not they just wanted to be more accurate, I don't know, but it does look more show accurate. Whoop, off camera. But yeah, definitely pick up Transmetal Cheetor. He's definitely worth it. He's definitely not the easiest to find, though. You're going to pay a pretty penny for him, and that's if you do find him. I found him used out of box, so he's going to be, he was cheaper for me, but I mean, look to pay around $25 to maybe $40 if you're willing to go that much. Beast Wars wasn't even that long ago, so that's pretty expensive. But yes, that's Cheetor. Give you a little good look at him. Give you an all-around look. I haven't been doing that much lately, but yes, definitely worth getting. Anyways, I'm stepping into the Transmetal line. I didn't do Air Razor because she's the only basic I really haven't done, but expect to see the Transmetals coming out. Anyways, this is Cheetor and Skylinks saying peace out for now.